Hi, welcome to the small shed. This week I'm making a hedgehog house for a small hedgehog. See you in a minute. Now, one of the things I've got to do is rebuild the hedgehog house in our back garden for the resident hedgehog that we have at the moment. But this is a slightly different one. We had a lady come into the shed at Menning Sheds the other day, and she brought with her some bits of wood and a half round roof ridge tile and said, can you make me a hedgehog house out of this? So I've just cut all the bits, thrown it together and put some cladding on the roof of it to keep the rain off. But we've left the finishing to her because she just hasn't got the facilities to cut wood and that sort of thing. It's not the first thing we've done for her, but without any tools or a workshop, she just wanted somebody to put the basic thing together for her, and then she could go away and prettify it up later. I think she's going to put sticks over the roof area to sort of insulate it a bit and hide it in the garden. And as I say, she'll probably put some finish on it as well. But let's go down to the shed and see what we did. It's probably a bit small. Ideally, I think they're needing about 300 by 400, and this is, well, less than 300 by 300, I think. But that's what the lady wants, so we can at least have a go. I'm going to try and make it bigger just by giving it a bit more height. We've got some old fence post that had got a groove in it, and I think if we can put that up on there, that will at least get some headroom in there for the hedgehog. Obviously we have to put some sort of a ramp and a covered way in, because they get problem, I think, with predators, cats and things otherwise, so we need to get that built. I think that's about 150 mil square, something like that. I'll look that up and see. I think I'll put it on a plywood base and then have a back wall and a front wall. If I can squeeze any more room anywhere by making it a bit bigger, doing anything to help, we will, I think. As I say, it might not be ideal, but it's what the lady wanted. Put a vertical things on front and back. She wanted them slightly higher than the ridge tile, so that she can put sticks and things over the top afterwards to hide it a bit more in the garden. So let's get some plywood and cut a base first, I think, and then we'll work from that, work upwards. Now, when I arrived at shed the other morning, there was a skip in the car park from the guys next door who were moving out, and as usual, first thing in the morning, that was the job, to go in and dive and see what we could get out of that. I think the day before a lot of our blokes had shifted some of the other stuff out of it, but there's bits of 3x2 and 1-inch thick plywood which was going to be of use on the hedgehog house as well, and that was all brought in, scavenged and saved. It's very nice, decent external ply, and we also, as I say, picked up a lot of 3x2 as well. Having marked out the main body of the thing, just pop the plywood on for get the sizes for the ends, so they could be cut down to size on the bandsaw. Most of the plywood we've had recently that I was picking up from in Birmingham is 6mm to probably about 12mm, so this was a godsend, this shelving that we got from next door, because it's 18 or 25, I think it's 25mm actually, so it's pretty substantial stuff. And what's more, I think it's a little bit more resistant to the weather than anything else that we were likely to be able to produce would have been. So it came along just the right time, really. In the foreground there you can see the little Evolution chop saw that came in again a couple of weeks ago. Somebody brought it in saying it doesn't work. We were going to take it to the tip. Is it any good to you? And a couple of days with a little bit of fettling and super gluing bearings back in and things and getting the casing back together. It had been dropped, I think, which had pushed the armature out of line, and that had melted the fan to the casing. Cleared all that up, cleared it all out, and we've now got another little small working chop saw, which is ideal for smaller jobs than the big lumberjack one that I repaired the other week. After we'd got the main shape of the house sorted, it then needed an entrance so that you can keep the inside free from predators like cats and things that tend to sort of have a go and try and get at the hedgehog. They go to the place where the coat hangers live.
This is mine for personal use. I'm going to hide it. Where did all the hangman's scaffold come from?
I think it's come out of skin.
Oh, right. Right.
Because
Shelving or something.
Right, so I've pretty much finished a kit of parts for the hedgehog house now. We've got the original sort of concept, which was the side rails and the top. I still think that's a bit too small. Not much I can do about that, other than I think I might just take that inner piece of timber off altogether, so that will just go straight down. We've then got a back, and put a ventilation hole in there somewhere so that we can get a bit of ventilation through. Simple sort of thing at the front, needs cleaning up, but again that tidies that up. We've left that lower than the end pieces so that the person can put sticks and things over the top. It retains them all and hides it. It is plywood, it is going to be a problem perhaps with weathering, but I think given that it's 25mm thick and pretty good quality, I think we can live with that as long as we treat it. And then for the entrance I've just got a couple of bits of ply cut to do an entrance way that will fit like that. And that should give us the best that we can get out of this tile as a hedgehog house. I hope it would work anyway, we'll see. I've got some rubber that was left over from the pond, the butyl liner. I think I'll probably put that over the top of this, and that will at least help with that. And if I can find anything just to flash over there, I'll do that as well. But that's it for the moment. We'll just start and get that screwed together next. I found some edging strip that was lying around in the shed, plastic, that I'm going to put onto that end piece, which will if I pin that on, that'll keep the worst of the weather out of the plywood, and then I can give it a paint afterwards to tone it down a bit, but it'll at least help save the plywood from deterioration. I've also got some rubber with me now for the roof at the other end, so that will be pretty weatherproof as well. So I think that's probably the best I can do. It's going to be a problem if I cut the inside off, which I want to do. In any rainwater that runs down there will tend to go inside rather than out, but I think we're just going to have to put up with that and maybe just glue something on or fix something on that will just divert the water off. And onto there I'll put a slope down on that top edge as well. But we're on the last stages now, we're on the last steps of putting it together, I think. Right, so there we are, another little job out of the way. Ideally it would have been a bit bigger, but I've done all I can to maximise the space in there. Let's hope she has some luck and attracts a hedgehog. Hope it was of interest. Look forward to seeing you next time. We'll see you then. Bye.